Well, good evening. Welcome back. Hey, this week you were supposed to read Colossians chapter 3. If you didn't get a chance to do that, go ahead and stop and go ahead and read that together. If you got questions, go ahead and discuss those. But today I want to ask you a question. So what is the one movie that you would like to watch over again for the first time? What movie would that be? And share why. So for me, it would be The Negotiator. I'm a huge Samuel L. Jackson fan, but The Negotiator was just one of these suspenseful movies that was just every plot turned and twist, and you didn't really know who the bad guy was until you got to the end. I mean, I remember thinking it was this one character. I thought for sure it was this one character, and it totally wasn't. Now that I know who the bad guy is, it's a little harder to watch. I still watch it every chance I get, though. I would like to watch it again for the first time to see if I could come up with who the bad guy really was. So hope you had a good time chatting about that. Hey, we're going to jump into Colossians chapter 4 today. Verse 2 says, "Devote yourselves to prayer. Stay alert in it with thanksgiving. At the same time, pray also for us that God may open a door to us for the message, to speak the mystery of the Messiah, for which I am in prison, so that I may reveal it as I am required to speak. Act wisely toward outsiders, making the most of the time. Your speech should always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you should answer each person." Paul writes this from prison, and he's writing this letter to the church at Colossae, and he's talking about devote yourself to prayer. I want you to think for just a moment, what does it mean or what does it look like to devote yourself to prayer? And I think for me, when I thought about it, it's the devoting myself to prayer meant that prayer became everything in my life. Everything that happened, every decision I make, everything I do is all about first going to the Lord in prayer. But then it goes on down and starts to talk about how we're to treat one another, especially people we don't know. And we're supposed to treat them kind and good. And, the last couple weeks, we've seen the war in Ukraine, and I was stunned by a video I saw of a woman with a Russian soldier, and she was asking his name and gave him food to eat and let him call his mom to let her know that he was okay, and tell him not to be afraid, but he was a prisoner. But the video was they were taking care of him. And I wonder how many times do we get that opportunity that we can stop and set aside everything that we know or everything that we think we know and actually be nice to someone. I mean, treat somebody really the way we're supposed to, the way we want to be treated. It was just so amazing to watch this Ukrainian woman giving this Russian soldier food and a phone to call home and let his mom know that he was safe and he was okay, and that you guys were going to do everything that you could to take care of him to make sure that he comes back home to his mom. I mean, that just blew me away in the midst of war. And those are some of the stories that we don't get to always hear in the midst of war. Well, God is telling us to love one another, to be there for one another, to stand strong and to stand firm with one another. So as you go to your time of discussion, maybe what does that mean, or what does that look like? What does your prayer life look like? Where do you need to grow? Go ahead and take some time just to discuss some of those things. What does it mean to be devoted to prayer? And what does it look like to really show people love? And just jump off and take that discussion wherever you want to take it. Your homework for next time, of course, is Colossians chapter 4. Go ahead and read it. And if you have questions, bring questions next week. And just take a few minutes at the beginning to answer those questions. So I hope you have a good day, a good time of discussion, and we look forward to being with you again soon.